Good afternoon, everyone. I'm San Francisco Mayor London Breed, and I am so excited to be here in the heart of Union Square on what turned out to be a very beautiful day. I mean, what better city would you have than San Francisco? I want to thank all of the folks who are joining us here today, and let me just say that we're a fortunate city. Not only are we beautiful, not only is this a beautiful city, but we attract people from all over the world. In fact, we know that San Francisco saw over 26 million visitors this past year, which generated over $9 billion for our city, for the restaurants, for the hotels, for all the services in the city. And we are so grateful that so many people choose San Francisco as their as their as the location that they visit every single year. And I am committed to working with all of the folks here to make sure that we make those experiences a lot better. In fact, like any other major city anywhere in the United States, many of them are struggling with some of the same problems, sadly, that we have in San Francisco. And what we have done this past year is make significant investments in taking care of our city. And I want to thank our Director of Public Works, who works with the Downtown Streets teams and some of the other nonprofits. Thank you, Mohammed Nuru, for your leadership, your staff, and all the people who are out here power washing and cleaning up San Francisco on a regular basis. And I am really proud because I shop downtown. I spend a lot of time down here in disguise. And I got to tell you, I see an improvement. And I see so many of the people who are standing behind me working every single day. And they take a lot of pride in the work that they do to keep San Francisco clean and green. We have added more pit stops where people can use the restroom. We have these amazing big belly trash cans, and I love them. They look gorgeous. I mean, we are doing so many great things. And you know that at a time of some of the challenges, part of it includes making sure that we are doing more to help many of the population that some of us see, people who are struggling, sadly, with homelessness, with mental health challenges, with substance use disorder. And what's so great about what we're doing in San Francisco, tomorrow, in fact, we're going to be opening a new navigation center, a 24-hour shelter bed with 200 new beds that we're going to be adding to help people suffering on our streets. And we know it's not easy. San Francisco is an expensive city, and we know we need to build housing for all income levels. And I want to thank the voters of this city for passing the $600 million affordable housing bond, providing housing opportunity for low and middle income residents. So we are making the investments. We are doing a lot of great work. But we have to start focusing on what we need to do to improve the conditions of our street in San Francisco. And that's why just this morning, I met with all the city department heads, from the police department to the Department of Public Works to all the different departments that serve San Francisco, to make it clear that this year's budget priorities, they must be on dealing with many of the challenges that we know San Francisco faces around homelessness, mental health, SF, as well as people who are struggling with substance use disorder. Those will be our priorities because we want to make sure that we change what we know people are frustrated over. We want to make sure that we make those investments so that you see and feel a difference. All of the folks who are here today, they spend so much time helping to take care of San Francisco. And we have to make sure that we do a better job of investing in them and investing in the resources necessary to get to a better place. So part of what we're going to be doing is prioritizing our street conditions, prioritizing those particular issues, And our departments are going to be responsible, of course, for making sure that we invest properly and that we make sure that every dollar counts. San Francisco, as we know, is a world-class city. And as I said earlier, we attract people from all over the world. They come here because not only is it a beautiful city, but it's an enjoyable experience. I mean, the weather is gorgeous today. I know we didn't expect it, but I had a prayer ceremony this morning to ask God for some nice weather, and here we go. World-class city, a world-class city that needs to make sure that you can feel it and experience it, whether you're going to a restaurant, whether you're shopping, whether you're just meeting friends in town or visiting neighborhoods. Wherever you walk in San Francisco should be a good experience, and we are committed to changing that. I want to thank all the incredible people who are joining us here today. I know Karen Flood from the Union Square Business Improvement District. They do a lot of work with investing in additional resources to help take care of this community as well. The San Francisco Police Department and many of the beat officers who you see out here ensuring that everyone is safe. We have Joe D'Alessandro here from San Francisco Travel. They do all the work to market and get others to come and bring their conventions here. And let me also say something about conventions. We have conventions booked up in this city for years to come. So trust me, we have maybe lost one large convention, but that doesn't mean that there isn't someone ready to take their place. So let's not be discouraged by someone choosing in this one particular instance to move their convention, because we are going to make sure that we work with those others who are waiting in line to be a part of San Francisco. We, along with the Hotel Council, Kevin Carroll, who's here from the Hotel Council, and others, we're going to work to make sure that we fill those slots and we continue to open up San Francisco for others who would like to host their conventions here, including a lot of entities from all over the United States. So And you know, they smoke indoors at in Las Vegas, so we don't do that here. Anyway, so with that, I want to again thank everyone for being here, and thank everyone who continues to make sure this community is a great community to visit, to shop, to eat, to hang out. It is just a beautiful city, and we are going to do a better job at making sure that when people come here, they have an incredible experience, because we are truly a grateful city for all the support, resources, and love we get from our tourist community, and also all the people that, again, are the folks who make sure that we take care of this area every single day. And with that, I want to take the opportunity to introduce, for a few remarks, the director of the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce, Rodney Fong.
Thank you, Mayor Breed. Thank you very much for coming out today. And thank you to the Union Square BID Business Improvement Districts, one of the first business improvement districts and community benefit districts here in San Francisco. And we're actually sitting on Rec and Park space. Phil Ginsburg is here along with his park police, and thank you very much. I just want to share with you, I know firsthand what it's like to operate a business here in San Francisco and operate organizations. My parents were born here in San Francisco and owned and operated businesses. My grandparents were born here and operated businesses. My great-grandmother was born here in 1898 here in San Francisco. And quite frankly, if we don't maintain our streets of San Francisco, I think we're saying we don't really care about the city we love, and we don't care about the businesses that are engaged here in San Francisco. The opposite, though. We all love our city. I know our mayor deeply loves our city. All of you love our city, don't you? Yeah. There you go. So to be honest, I'm, like many of us, sick and tired of talking about the conditions of our city, and enough is enough. We want to try to make some improvements. We are proud to stand here with Mayor Breed as she is calling for city departments and supervisors to dedicate every spare dollar to improving our streets here in San Francisco. The Chamber of Commerce cares about our city and is stepping up. putting its money where its mouth is. Next month, you'll begin to see the Chamber of Commerce roll out a street care program. Street Care SF will be a comprehensive program which engages private companies, collaborates with our CBDs, including this wonderful Union Square BID, and it will provide additional street cleaning services and advocacy. Street Care will work with our Board of Supervisors as we all really share the same desire for compassionate care and clean and safe streets. So I have one ask of you today, and that is to reach out to your local supervisor, ask them and tell them that you love your city, our city. Ask them and tell them to get engaged and help clean up our city. You are the constituents, you are the voters, and that's our duty and our opportunity to do just that. So we must take care of our city. This is, as the mayor said, a world-class city, a sophisticated city, and let's treat our streets with that same level of sophistication. Thank you very much for listening. I want to introduce somebody who's been working on this for a very long time, Joe D'Alessandro from San Francisco Travel.
Thank you, Rodney, and thank you, Mayor Breed, for your remarks. Your remarks were on target. San Francisco is the most beautiful city on earth, and on a day like today, we can only celebrate this incredible place that we love, a city that we all love. Some of us live here, some of us work here, some of us visit here. But the one thing that we have in common is that we all love this city. And it's time now that we really step up to the plate and show the love that we have from this city and to make some changes. I am backing the mayor and her efforts to focus and prioritize on the street condition. Whether people are living on the street, whether they're working in the streets, whether they're visiting the streets, we have to improve the experience of the streets of San Francisco. I am so happy to see so many people out here, and especially the hotel and hospitality workers who depend on their jobs, their livelihood, for the visitors who are coming into San Francisco. We have to keep those jobs strong. We have to keep those jobs growing. So let's give it a round of applause for those hotel and hospitality workers that are here with us today. Everybody has a right to feel safe on our streets, and we can no longer just sit back and complain. We have to take action. We support the efforts of the mayor and ask the Board of Supervisors to please prioritize the quality of life and condition of San Francisco streets for everybody on those streets, for the people in need, for the people that are working, the people that are living, and the people that are visiting San Francisco. This city is far too precious for us to let slip away. We have to demand better times on the street, better experiences on the street, and make this city that we love and we're so proud of something that will continue to be, people can be proud of for generations in the future. The time is now. We must get involved. We must speak up. We must speak out. We must take action, and we must take those steps necessary to make San Francisco a better place. Thank you for being here today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Blyman, and I'm here on behalf of the small business community in San Francisco. I have owned and operated 10 bars in the city. And in the last few years, especially in the last decade, we've seen it increasingly difficult to make ends meet in the city as small business owners. We're watching mom and pop businesses have difficulty just breaking even, let alone turning a profit. And if you poll small business owners, which I have done, and I'm on the streets talking to them every single day, probably the biggest challenge that they bring up is the condition of our streets. So I'm here today to commend Mayor Breed and everybody here for taking bold action on this specific topic. It is the #1 threat to our business, to our mom and pop shops, and to the charm and of our local neighborhoods and lovely areas like here. I also would love to thank all of the members of the unions and the workers and the people who work every single day, not just to keep the streets clean, but also to work in the businesses that rely on conventions and tourists and customers and everything that makes our city great. I hope we will all stand with Mayor Breed, but she cannot do it alone. We need to each reach out to our individual leaders, and we need to ask them and demand of them to provide the basic services that we all deserve. If we do this, we can save small business before it's too late, and I have the utmost faith in our mayor, and I thank you again. Thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you to all the speakers. And I just want to reiterate, everything can't be our priority. we know this is the most challenging issue that we face. And the reason why it's so important and why I have been aggressively pushing for more housing and more shelter beds is because we have to make sure that we have those available to people who don't have homes. That's why this is so important, in addition to making sure that we take care of the streets, that we take care of the conditions of the streets of our businesses. That is critical and has to be our number one priority. Everything can't be our priority, but this has to be our number one priority. And part of that is ensuring that everybody feels safe, whether you live here, whether you visit here, no matter where you live, you should feel safe in your community. And I want to, again, thank the San Francisco Police Department for being here today and ask Deputy Chief Greg McEachran to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor Breed. As she said, what a beautiful day. We're standing out here at Union Square. We have this beautiful tree behind us. There's no place like San Francisco to celebrate during the holidays. We have an incredible array of businesses with the best restaurants in the Bay Area, just within a short distance from here. The San Francisco Police Department will be out supporting the merchants in the communities during this holiday season. That I can assure you. The San Francisco Police Department is working to enhance the safety for residents, visitors, and shoppers. You will see an increase of footbeat officers, officers on bicycles, traffic uniform patrol, and even plainclothes officers that you may not know are out here. And at times you will even see our distinguished mounted unit that will be out. And when you do, please go up to them and say hello, because they're here as a visible presence and a deterrent, but as a welcoming sight for the community that sees them. There are 3 tips that we have for the community during this time of the holiday season. The first is park smart and avoid vehicle break-ins by leaving nothing in your vehicle that is visible, to avoid going back with your belongings and leaving them for opportunists to break in and steal them. Consider moving your vehicle when you place items into it, and try to use parking lots where there are parking lot attendants around that can help reduce those crimes. If you see something during this holiday season, please say something. If you see criminal activity or suspicious behavior, such as individuals looking into vehicles, flag down a police officer, call 911, or contact security or some of the ambassadors that you see in this area. We ask that everyone enjoy visiting and enjoying their holidays be aware of their surroundings. Limit your use of your electronic devices while walking and keep your belongings close to you. Our work to reduce crime would not be possible without the support and work of other city partnerships. Organizations like the Union Square Bid, communities, Chamber of Commerce, and SF Travel. We could not be successful without them. And lastly, we know that the San Francisco Police Department is usually the visible presence that you see out here that gives you a sense of safety and a sense of security. And we want you to know that during this holiday season and for this next year, like the mayor has said, we will continue to be out here for you to serve the community and to give them the services that this wonderful city deserves. Happy holidays. Stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just to close it out, as many of you know, I grew up here, born and raised, and I love San Francisco. I grew up in public housing in the Western Addition, and my grandmother, who raised me, she would make us clean up in front of where we lived. She would yell at anyone if they dropped anything on the ground. And of course, you know, me as a teenager, I would complain about every time I had to go out and sweep and clean up. And she said, I don't care where we live. It's our responsibility to take care of our community. I don't care if it's a box or a hole in the wall. Get out there and sweep up. And you know I had to. I didn't have a choice. But I think what that instilled in me is really a strong commitment to wanting to do better and to take care of San Francisco. And I found myself, when I started working in the community, doing the same thing to a lot of the kids who were coming to the African American Art and Culture Complex, where I served as a director for 10 years, and instilling those same values in them of responsibility for community. It's about cleaning up the community, but it's also about supporting and keeping a community together and keeping a community strong. San Francisco is an incredible, resilient, beautiful city. And part of making it even better means taking more responsibility for changing what we know are the conditions that are problematic on our streets that we see every single day. That's why today is so important. That's why our commitment in prioritizing this as a way to change things for the better is so critical. It's critical not just to our city now, but to the future of our city and what we know we can be. We can be better than what we are now, but only if we're willing to commit and work at it every single day. So today starts the prioritization of street conditions, of taking care of the communities, of, yes, Randy Shaw, making sure that the Tenderloin is a priority too, and making sure that, you know, we come together again as a community, because that's really what's going to make things better for all of us. The businesses, the people who live here, the folks who visit here. That is our number one goal, our number one priority, and we're going to get there because we're in this together, and we're going to fight it to the end to make sure that it's prioritized in our policies and our budget, because we want to see a change. So thank you all so much for being here today. Have a wonderful holiday season. Make sure you go eat at all the restaurants and shop at all the places in the Union Square area. Thank you so much.